guys, this is me here at the
That was at 3:30 in the morning on Tuesday. I'm heading off to New York, well, to the States. I've taken 6 weeks sabbatical. I arrived so early because of the news that were spreading like wildfire of people missing flights and people staying behind. So with much prayer, I decided to go. My friend took me to Belfast City Centre, where I took the bus at 1:30 in the morning. But when I got there, I saw Terminal 2 and it was packed, and I was just wishing that Terminal 1 was different, but it wasn't. I got there and the people were everywhere trying to get into security. I couldn't actually check in online, so I had to wait for the first flight, which was 7 o'clock, but the counter opened 2 hours before. So I was standing there just outside of British Airways counter. I was the first one in the queue. So as soon as I checked in, I asked for 12A, which is the window seat that you can see now through the video. And I made my way to security. And it was almost 3.5, almost 4 hours, or 3.5 hours to get from the counter to security. And finally to departures, where the plane was, well, we were waiting for the plane to arrive from London. So it was like 2 hours, a bit more, of walking around with my bags, with a bottle of water, which I drank completely, and thinking, God, what am I doing here? What is this all about? I know I'm tired. I know I need to be honest with myself. I know that I want to go for, and finish well, but I needed to get out, take time off, refresh myself in the Lord, and I think I'm doing the right thing. Not that I'm doubting myself, but at that point when you just took one step forward and waited, and another step forward and waited, till finally you had to get, as you know, in security, everything off. And then we took off. And the plane accelerated, and you can hear the sound of the engine. And it was just an amazing feeling of relief. Being in the air, looking at that grass, and then suddenly everything that looks huge and big becomes something really small because of the perspective that you have. And in no time, you're entering the clouds and some turbulence as well, which is fun. But in the meantime, when you go through, and at this point before you go through security, and it is like life being taken apart, everything that you work so hard for in terms of packing your bags. And this time I have been so well organized in doing so, which actually I surprised myself because I've never been that organized in packing, but this time I bought every single thing that I needed. And my rucksack, which is Osprey Fairpoint 40 liters, was almost neat. And actually, it is within the regulations of EU planes. Ospreys are not paying me for this anyway. But I had that one, and also I had another Osprey, a lightweight one, which is absolutely cracker. So, but it's when you are there and looking at those trades, and suddenly you have to strip off, not everything, but your shoes has to come off, your belt has to come off, your wallet, everything, your phone, the laptop, everything, your toiletry bags, and then your jackets off, and everything that you hold here are put onto trades, and I had 3 of them. And then you go through the scanner and you're thinking, please, do I have any metal in my body that I'm going to be pulled away from and to be checked, and which I don't actually enjoy. But thankfully, I went through okay. And then you have to collect all your stuff. And it's like repacking everything again. But at this time, I was cool and calm. Well, kind of, because suddenly I realized that for the second time in my life, and perhaps within 2 years, last time we flew to London for personal reasons. I left my phone, brand new phone, inside the train, and I thought, have I done the same thing? And I looked at the lady who was actually working security, and I kind of shouted at her, saying, I cannot find my phone. But then I remember that I put it inside one of the pockets in my bags. Huge relief. So you packed everything back again, not with the same care, not in the same order. So your bag looks not as neat as before, but who cares? I couldn't care less. I was fortunate in, and that was amazing. So I took every step, every breath. I had a bottle of water, and I drank because I was thirsty, and I made my way to the gate. And then lo and behold, the plane came, and we boarded. I sat near the window. I began to film, and within 45 minutes, we began to descend and to land in London Heathrow. It was a nice short flight, uneventful, apart from landing, getting off the plane, and then security all over again. Yes, security all over again. You know what? Everything has a time and a purpose. And God knows why. And He knows why I need this time off. A time to stop. A time to get refreshed. A time to slow down. Even though, just like this airplane slowing down as it touched the tarmac, and it's taxiing so we can get out in the midst of the fast life, touching down with God, with myself, with friends and families. Perhaps it is the most important thing. He said, I will never leave you, never forsake you. And those words are becoming ever so true. God bless. See you next time. And next one I think is going to be my flight over to New York, the big city, a place where I lived and I worked when I was a teenager. Maybe this trip is about coming home so that we can move forward. God bless.